If your car has a rough idle or a hesitation for gas mileage, one small sensor could be the issue that's causing it. Today on Papa's Custom Cars, I'm going to show you what that sensor is, what it does, and how to check it. So let's get to it. So the first question is, what does a rough idle feel like? Signs of a rough idle are your engine's shaking, you're sitting in your driver's seat, you can kind of feel it shake a little bit when it's sitting at a light. You see the RPM gauge, or it feels like the engine's surging a little bit. Um, the you go to take off or you go to give it gas and it hesitates just a little bit. Or if it stalls out completely, you push the gas and it just drops dead, and then you have to start the car up and go again. The reason this happens is because engines need a balance of fuel and air. And if that right balance isn't met, the engine won't run properly, and it'll cause hesitations, it'll cause rough idle, all kinds of things. Easy way to see that is, once again, like last week's video, listening or paying attention. If you see your engine is just in there shaking like crazy, then you know there's probably an issue. And again, you've got to have that right balance of fuel and air in order to make the car run properly and get good fuel economy and all that kind of stuff. So let's go take a look, and I'll show you one of the sensors that could be causing that problem and how to correct it and what it does. So let's go out to the car. So when it comes to these sensors, there's going to generally be two different types. One's the mass airflow sensor, MAF, and then the other one is the manifold absolute pressure. Both of these measure the volume of air coming through the engine, through the intake, and adjust the fuel mixture accordingly. So if one of these is not working properly, you're going to run into an issue. Let me show you an example of each one of those sensors. So the Chrysler itself does not have a mass airflow sensor. It has a manifold absolute pressure sensor, and that's located right here on the front of the intake manifold. So it measures the air coming through the intake, and that sensor is going to be located right here. And it's easy enough to remove this bolt, take this out, and clean it, because they do get dirty. You've got some dirt that may come through and be able and actually, pollute the system, I guess you'd say, and give you a dirty sensor. The other item in the system, the other sensor in this system to measure your different air temperatures and airflows, is right here. And this particular one is the air intake temperature sensor. So it measures the temperature of the air coming into the intake manifold. So these two sensors, if they're out of whack, they can cause the engine to run rough and that type of thing. Many times you can clean them, but you have to be very careful and very specific how you clean them, because each one of them has its own desired method for cleaning it. In a lot of cases, these sensors don't cost a lot of money, and if you're running into constant issues with it, you definitely want to replace these sensors. So again, these Chryslers, they use a MAP sensor, not a mass airflow sensor. I can show you on a Ford real quick what that looks like. So on the Ford Flex, it's this little sensor right here. Two screws hold it in. It's easy enough to remove it, to clean it. They do make cleaner for these, and I'll show you a can of that here in a minute. Do not clean it while it is in the system. Remove the unit, clean it, and then put it back in. That'll definitely help. But this is your mass airflow sensor in a 2011 Ford Flex 3.5. Generally, it's going to be located in the line here somewhere, depending upon the type you have. But it generally measures intake air pressures and all that kind of thing. So this will definitely cause your car to run rough. So this is another one. So let me show you what you would use to clean something like this. Now, symptoms of a bad MAF or MAP sensor would generally be the common symptoms are going to be a rough idle, you're going to have that hesitation, that poor fuel economy, and check engine light. Sensors get dirty. There's dust and in the air. There's oil vapors that the system feeds back through, and then just general debris in the system that could get pushed on through. So when you're in there and when you're in the engine compartment, you want to check for a few things. You want to double check your wiring, make sure that it's nice and tight. Look for any loose connections, any broken wires, a damaged housing in itself. One of those little sensors it breaks or something of that nature. So sometimes simply pulling the connector off and reseating that connector can fix the issue. For example, most of the cars that I've fixed, it was an issue with the mass airflow, and they sell a Berryman's is what I've got here, sells a can of mass airflow cleaner for, I think I paid $7 for this. So this $7 can save, a whole bunch of shop time. If this is the issue, all you do is take your 2 screws off, you clean it with this cleaner. Don't wipe it, don't put anything on it, just clean it with the cleaner, let it dry, put it back in again, and that may solve your problem. And this little $7 to $10 can of mass airflow cleaner could solve your problem and save you $1,000 taking it over to the shop to have them diagnose what's wrong and all that kind of thing. So it's a nice quick way of determining, for $6 or $7 or $10 what may fix it. Again, check the wiring, check everything there. Make sure when you remove the connector, you're very careful with it. You don't break the wires or break the connector itself. Have the proper tool for removing that connector. Don't just start yanking on it and grabbing it with pliers and stuff. Be real careful with it because they're a delicate part of that car. Computers control the way your engine is running. These sensors all throughout the engine tell the computer how things are running, how things are going, whether it's a temperature, whether it's a flow, whatever it may be. All of these sensors from the intake air going in make a big difference. And if one of them's not working properly, it's going to tell the computer the wrong thing and make your car run wrong. So it's one of those things where this may be the answer to your question, or it just might be a dirty connector. Take it off, look at it. If it's dirty, just wipe it dry. But again, don't reach in there. Don't spray this stuff into the intake manifold to clean it. Take the sensor out, clean it, put it back in again, see if that solves your problem. And if it doesn't solve your problem, then you may have to replace it. Taking it to someone that has a good code reader can tell you if the sensor is bad or if there's an issue with it. But it's one of those things that for a few dollars, you can fix it yourself, save yourself $1,000 at the shop. So again, if your car has a rough idle, hesitation, poor mileage, this is one of the first sensors you want to check. If you like learning how to fix your own car and save a bunch of money, subscribe to Papa's Custom Cars. These videos will definitely help you. If there's a topic that you're interested in, just shoot me a note, put a note in the comment. If you guys are out there and you have worked on these things before and you know this type of situation, definitely let everybody know, hey, this is common, because it really is common. So again, want to learn how to fix your own car? Subscribe to Papa's Custom Cars. I'll see you in the